We are about to board the cruise ship that flipped the industry on its head. Luxury, adults only, and built by Virgin. Yeah, that Virgin. It's bold, it's award-winning, and it's got more 5-star reviews than any other cruise line on TripAdvisor. But with its wild reputation and late-night shows that push the limits, will two non-party people like us survive the heat or run for the lifeboats? Let's find out.
Hola, it is so nice to see you again. We are once again in the port of Barcelona, this time to board Scarlet Lady. The line to go through security was long, but it moved quickly, and after about 20 minutes, we were on our way on board. Walking off the gangway, we get a closer look at our floating home for the next 7 nights.
The Scarlet Lady is 912 feet long, the equivalent of 155 Richard Bransons. It holds 2,762 passengers and weighs 110,000 tons. We boarded through Deck 6 and were immediately amazed by how pretty the ship was. We were excited about this cruise before boarding, but now super duper seems more appropriate. Our first stop was our cabin 2 decks below to leave our luggage. We loved the look and feel of the room and were tempted to stay here and rest for a bit. However, we were more hungry than tired. Our first meal is usually at the buffet restaurant, but Virgin doesn't do buffets on their ships. The Galley food hall up on Deck 15 is the closest to a buffet on board. This food hall features a mix of shops and food truck-style carts that change their menus throughout the day. There is a bakery and pastry shop, a panini shop, a burger grill, a taco stand, a sushi bar with bento boxes, a noodle bar, a 24-hour American diner, and a salad stand. We will try them all throughout our trip, except for the salad stand. Sorry, Mom. On our first visit to the Galley, I ordered the buffalo mozzarella panini from Hot Off the Press, while John had the Alaska roll from Bento Baby and the spicy tonkotsu ramen from Noodle Around. All eateries are included in the cruise fare, and we made a point to try them all. We'll show you everything we ate on board, so make sure not to watch the rest of this video hungry. For dessert, we shared a coconut pavlova, a peach tart, and a passion fruit pie from the pastry shop. Everything was extremely tasty.
After lunch, we went to the aquatic club on the same deck as the galley for the Sailaway party. They were giving away complimentary sparkling wine, and the atmosphere was lively. The Happenings cast put on a show to energize the passengers, and we got an early taste of Virgin's party vibe. After a while, we returned to our cabin. Welcome to our home base for the next 8 days. If you've been following us, you know we're kind of cruise newbies, and this is only our 3rd one. We started with Costa, then tried MSC, and today we're giving Virgin a go. Now, Virgin's known for shaking things up, and we're kind of curious / nervous about the whole raunchy entertainment they're known for.
Yeah, we're not exactly wild party people, so we're wondering if this is going to be a fun stretch or just awkward. But hey, we came with open minds and a sense of adventure, so let's dive in and see where this trip takes us. You in? We've officially said goodbye to Barcelona. Over the next 8 days, we'll slowly make our way to Civitavecchia, Italy, with a few amazing stops along the way. So, where are we headed? We'll stop in Palma de Mallorca, Cannes, Ajaccio, and Livorno, with a couple of sea days in between to kick back, eat too much, and pretend we're not checking emails. The Scarlet Lady made quite the splash when she launched. She was even named Best New Cruise Ship that year. Virgin Voyages was recently voted as having the world's best food, best destinations, best entertainment, best vibe. Basically, if there's a best category, they seem to be in it. Honestly, we're really excited about this one. The itinerary, the ship, the experience, it all feels a little extra special. And we're so glad to have you here with us to share it.
It is time for a quick room tour. This time we decided to splurge on a sea view and stop being cheap for once. And here we have an extra large queen size bed, a TV which is on the smaller side but it's a good fit for the distance to the bed. This is the sitting area where you can enjoy the view. And here we have the working station. Overall, the room is quite nice and it's modern. It has really cool touches and the Virgin brand is across the cabin. There's plenty storage for 2 people. The bathroom is really well designed, but it's also the least colorful part of the room.
Overall, we loved our room and felt very cozy in it. We really appreciated the TV's on-demand programming, which made our time in our cabin more enjoyable throughout the cruise.
We didn't have a reservation for dinner, so we tried dining at Extra Virgin, the Italian restaurant, as walk-ins, but we weren't lucky. We went to the pizza place on deck 7 instead. I ordered a pepperoni pizza while Ari went for the classic cheese pie. The pizzas were really good, almost as good as the ones on the MSC World Europa, which takes the win based on the crust. The pies were small, so we went to the Galley for a nightcap. We had an omelette and strip loin with mashed potatoes from the diner. We couldn't resist the pastry display, so we also had dessert.
Now it was time for the PJ party. We went to our cabin to put on our pajamas and headed to deck 16. Almost everyone wore PJs, from skimpy to silk robes, which created a cool atmosphere. The music was great and we really liked the party's mood. However, the day's traveling and embarkation finally caught up to us and we called it a night. We slept great, even though loud sounds from the ship's docking operations woke us up early. Well, woke me up. John can sleep through the end of the world. Our first port of call is Palma, the capital of the Spanish island of Mallorca. Before stepping off the ship, we stopped for breakfast at the Galley. John had a bagel with salmon and avocado, and I had French toast with scrambled eggs, which would be my go-to breakfast for the rest of the trip. A bus took us to the city center for €3 per person. Palma de Mallorca was founded in 124 BC. We especially loved the royal palace of La Almudaina, the Moorish-style Arab fortress converted to a royal residence, and the stunning Santa Maria Cathedral, a Gothic landmark overlooking the Bay of Palma. The morning was scorching hot, so we returned to the air-conditioned Scarlet Lady after a few hours of exploring the city.
We changed the setting to Sun Club Cafe on deck 16 for today's lunch. As portions were snack-sized, we sampled almost the entire menu. We tried the 5-spice chicken bowl, the barbecue beef bao, and the smoky oyster mushroom bao. We also had the maple and carrot dip and the waka mousse dip. Ari's favorite was the firecracker popcorn. We loved the food and the view of the city from up here.
After a much-needed nap with friends in the background, we went to a spinning class we had booked at the big complex on deck 15. The class was led by Cici, a member of the Happenings cast nicknamed the Balancer. The Happenings cast on Virgin Voyages is a group of 12 individuals who replaced the traditional cruise director role on the ship. The class was more challenging than I expected. I'll never know how John is smiling in this video. The only negative of this class is that the Galley is right next door, and willpower can only get you so far. After getting dressed up, we went to the Red Room on decks 6 and 7 for the rock showy 90s-ish. Yeah, the show names are weird. The band played hit rock songs from the late 90s and early 2000s, and singing along with the lyrics on big screens was encouraged. However, the lyrics were hard to follow if you didn't know the song. It was a lot of fun, and our favorite renditions were Creep by Radiohead and Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. After the show, we went to Gunbae, a Korean barbecue restaurant on deck 15, where we had dinner reservations. According to our waitress, Gunbae is the loudest restaurant on board, and boy was she right. Every meal begins with a Korean drinking game where you basically shout "Gunbae, Gunbae, 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 Gunbae" the entire time. Gunbae translates to English as cheers or bottoms up. When you lose at the game, you take a shot of soju, often called Korean vodka. John reached the final round but lost in the end. I won't try to pronounce the names of the dishes we ordered so as not to butcher them. My favorite was the kimchi pancake and John's was the Korean fried chicken. We apparently ordered too much food as the whole meal took 3 hours, but time flew by with such good food and fantastic company. After dinner, we headed to the Manor, 9 decks below, where a DJ played music. We weren't fans of the song selection, but as more people came in and the party vibe got better, so did the music. We didn't stay long as we had an early training session booked for early morning.
Good morning from somewhere in the Mediterranean. Last night we had a lot of fun, and today is a sea day packed with activities. First up, get a coffee and then a HIIT class.
The HIIT class was in the training camp 1 deck above. It was intense but also fun. We ended up drenched in sweat and our legs felt like spaghetti.
After a quick breakfast at the Galley and, of course, a quick shower, we went to the manor to play a trivia game. The trivia was hosted by another member of the Happenings cast, Tommy the Gamer. We had to choose our answers by physically moving to different colored sections on the floor, which made the game different. We played 3 rounds and lost all of them. Although I must say that we believe they had a question with a sketchy answer that got Ari off the final round. Or maybe we're just sore losers.
Half an hour later, at the same venue, our names were drawn to participate in a couples game called Double Trouble. The goal was to see how well couples know each other, and we're sad to report we got eliminated on the first round. To be fair to us, we understood the questions differently, and that's why 2 of our answers differed. After we lost, we rushed to deck 16 for a dodgeball competition on the basketball court. We were picked by the green team, and we had a blast. Our team captain was a member of a Boston Dodgeball League. Needless to say, we won the tournament. We may not be double trouble, but we're dodgeball trouble. After cooling down, we headed to the social club on deck 7 for lunch. We had hot dogs, and for once, my vegetarian option looked tastier than John's meat one. From the many board games available, we chose Classic Scrabble and enjoyed playing at the bar next door. Despite my best effort, placing a couple of Q's and Z's on the board, John won. As a consolation prize, I got an ice cream from the Lick Me Till Ice Cream Parlor. They offer staple flavors like vanilla, chocolate, and key lime pie, while rotating flavors like pistachio, brown butter, and orange ricotta throughout the trip. My favorite flavors were brown butter and pistachio, and John's was chocolate. Our next stop was our cabin for a well-earned nap. After watching the existing stock of Friends episodes, we watched Night Court. I kinda liked it, but John didn't, so we'll have to find another comfort show for the rest of the cruise. For dinner, we had reservations at Lucky Lotus, a Chinese-inspired restaurant that is only available on the Scarlet Lady. Our waiter, Henry, made us feel at home and recommended options from the menu which we took heed of. After complimentary green tea, we tried the pan-roasted vegetable dumplings and the honey sriracha sticky ribs for starters. For the mains, we ordered the stir-fried rice noodles and the blossoming sweet and sour fish with prawn fried rice. Due to a miscommunication, Henry brought us all 4 desserts on the menu, not that we're complaining. Banana and ricotta rangoons, almond tofu with black sesame, mango pudding, and my favorite, the egg tart. We thought we wouldn't be able to eat it all, but we did, or tried to, in the name of research.
We had plans to sleep in today, but the mysterious sounds were earlier and louder and woke both of us this time. Cannes is a tender port, and our slot to board the tender boat was 10 AM, so we had some time to kill. We went for breakfast. Ari's French toast was still delicious, and the view of the Bay of Cannes was magical under the early morning sun rays. The boarding process was smooth, as was the ride itself. This was our first time tendering to a port, and we enjoyed the whole experience. Exiting the dock, we ran into this small beach that reminded us of a 50s postcard with all the different colored umbrellas. Had we known there was a beach, we would have packed swimsuits, as the weather was perfect for a swim. Cannes is a beautiful town on the French Riviera. We especially like Les Souquets, the old quarter of Cannes overlooking the bay. It's quite a steep walk to get up there, but hey, at least we're safe in case of a tsunami. After a couple of hours, the summer heat made us retreat again to the ship. We were so eager to get in the pool, we forgot to bring you along.
For lunch, we returned to the always reliable The Galley. We love a buffet, but we're really enjoying Virgin's buffet-free method. There's a lot of variety, and we're still trying new things on day 4. Today, John tried a new ramen, a burger, and a shrimp toast. I had a portobello mushroom and cheese panini, and a PB&J sandwich which I had been eyeing since embarkation day. After a long and well-deserved nap after waking up so early, we tried our luck at Extra Virgin for dinner once more. The plan was to get on the waiting list and catch a show while we waited, and that's just what we did. We saw a stand-up comic named Harry Stacchini at the Red Room. He was funny, but as non-native speakers, we had a hard time with his British accent, so we were trying to decipher what he was saying for half the routine. After the show ended and our table was still not ready, we went to the Duck House to watch the sunset. Finally, we got the notification through the app that our table at Extra Virgin was ready. Walk-ins are seated at the bar. We knew this and we didn't care. We were eager to dine here since everything we'd heard before boarding and from other sailors was good. As antipasti, we ordered burrata cheese with roasted bell peppers, ciabatta and balsamic vinegar, as well as semolina fried calamari. For mains, we got spaghetti alle vongole and cacio e pepe. Our desserts were the chocolate olive oil cake and the chestnut castanaccio, our favorite dish of the night. We were so ready to love this meal, but it was the only one on the entire cruise that disappointed us. So it's time to check in, guys. So far, we've had a lot of fun on this cruise. As two non-party people, as we said, we have felt no pressure to do something we don't want to do. Whenever we want to party, we go and find the party. There's something going on somewhere. When we've had enough, we just leave and do our thing.
We have been actually stepping out a little bit out of our comfort zone,
Yeah.
and the entertainment thing has been amazing. It has been really fun. I really like the activities we've done.
At the same time, if you want to relax, you just go and find somewhere to relax, somewhere quiet. So there's really something for everyone. Yeah, it hasn't been like wild party all the time like we may have had the impression it would be. On the first day with the Sailaway party, I was, oh yeah, it's a party boat. But it is a party boat, but it's also whatever you want it to be, basically.
In some areas it's a party boat, in some areas it's to relax, other areas is to go and eat, and it's really fun.
Overall, I would say, yeah, that's the word. Really,
It's
absolutely
really
freaking fun, right?
Yes.
When we woke up, we were already docked in Ajaccio. Ajaccio is the capital of Corsica, a French island in the Mediterranean Sea, famous for being the birthplace of Napoleon. Bonaparte, not dynamite. We visited the actual house where Napoleon was born. It was fascinating to wander through the various rooms and imagine how they might have been in 1769. Watching this guy through the window was equally fascinating. Like in Cannes, we regretted not packing our swimsuits as we found a gorgeous crystalline beach and it was a perfect beach day. We sat down in a little bar overlooking the ocean to cool down and video called the big boss, my mom, for a quick hello.
Back on the ship, we went to the big and fairly well-equipped gym. It is divided into a strength section and a cardio section. Later that afternoon, we stopped by on the Rocks Bar for the Divas Cabaret show. During our trip, Vinegar Strokes is the resident drag queen on the Scarlet Lady. They're super funny and we greatly enjoy their humor in different activities throughout the ship. We settled on the Galley for dinner to try the special food festival menu based on LA, New York, Miami, and Seattle. The standouts were the arepas, the yuca frita, and the crispy skin pork. We tried some sweets, including this decadent creme brulee donut, a fancy version of arroz con leche, and a black and white cookie. Ari always has a black and white cookie whenever he sees one because of that Seinfeld episode, and every time he's reminded that he doesn't like it.
Luckily, my night didn't end up like Jerry's.
I don't feel so good.
Tonight was Scarlet Night. The ship turns red, and many things are happening at once on decks 6 and 7. We experienced the We Are Not Lovers singing duo, the free arcade, karaoke hosted by the Diva, a circus act, and the night's main event, the pool party. The Scarlet Night pool party is the most hyped event on a Virgin Voyages ship and the biggest celebration of the night. The happenings cast goes all out with excellent animation and choreography around the pool in the aquatic club. The giant inflatable octopus overlooks this fantastic celebration even non-party people will enjoy. Great animation, great music, and buzzing party vibe. At one point, the performers invite guests to get in the pool and dance the night away. That's when things go wild. We initially had no plans to get off the ship in Livorno, but we wanted to try to find a beach similar to those in Cannes and Ajaccio. But first, taking advantage of the fact that many people disembarked early to go on tours to Florence and Pisa, we went for brunch at the Wake. The Wake is another popular venue that was booked solid for our entire trip, and this was our way in. The place is gorgeous, and we felt fancy. The brunch started with coffee, pastries, and a great view from the back windows of the ship. John had the clam chowder as an entree and the Wake Eggs Benedict as the main. I ordered a fennel and citrus salad as my starter. It was good, but I discovered I don't have an appetite for salads in the morning. The standout for me was the French toast with candied pecans. Even now, rewatching the video makes my mouth water. We took a free shuttle bus to the city center. Before we arrived, we knew little about Livorno, but it turned out to be a fascinating place. During the Renaissance, Livorno was designed as an ideal town, but was severely damaged in World War II. We couldn't find a nearby beach, so we took a boat tour along its ancient Medici canals instead. It was interesting, but the scorching heat took away some of the enjoyment. This was the hottest day of our trip, so when we returned to the ship, we went straight to the pool. The ship's pool is small, and its deep part is even smaller. For this reason, we only used the pool twice on port days when there were fewer people on board. There are also several hot tubs, but the weather was so warm they didn't feel refreshing. Later that afternoon, we played a trivia game. We did fine in the first 2 rounds, but the third round was rough. After the game ended, we were still in the trivia mood, so we played Trivial Pursuit. Many questions were difficult, and the game dragged on longer than expected. We called it quits so John could participate in a game hosted by the diva. It was fun, but he was the first to be eliminated. But hey, at least he won something. We played shuffleboard, and I let John win to elevate his spirits after his loss.
That night, we had dinner reservations at the Mexican restaurant Pink Agave. There was a DJ tonight playing great music, but in a restaurant, the music was too loud for our taste. At Pink Agave we had guacamole, esquites, camarón amarillo, chile relleno, bistec marinero en escabeche, mil hojas, and capirotada. Next, we went to a stargazing session. The hostess narrated constellation lore, the perfect way to close the night.
The last full day on the Scarlet Lady has arrived, but we still have things we want to experience on board. Starting with brunch at Razzle Dazzle. This restaurant shares its venue with Lucky Lotus, but it's an entirely different experience. We kicked things off with coffee and pastries. John ordered a fried chicken sandwich with a side of salad. Having learned my lesson the day before, I went straight for the buckwheat waffles with cream and cherry syrup. The waffles were fine, but I was still thinking about the Wake's French toast. We loved the whimsical and perfectly crunchy rainbow churros. Real quick, we wanted to show you something. We found this company, the Wonder Club, not a sponsor. They sell these cool tokens, collectibles. They have cities, countries. For instance, if you've been to X city, you buy the token and you add it to your keychain and you collect them. We decided to personalize or custom make these ones for cruise ships, and we are collecting the cruises we've been to. For instance, our first cruise was the Costa Fascinosa and then the MSC World Europa. They have their names on it, and we are adding today the Scarlet Lady token to our keychain.
And we already have this one made, the Queen Victoria from Cunard,
which is our next cruise, so stay tuned for that. And but today we're only adding to our keychain the Scarlet Lady token. John, you want to do the honors?
Yes.
We found a game I love, Stratego. I had it as a kid and played all the time, but I had my behind handed to me. Next, we watched the Diva's main show, Lights, Camera, Drag at the Manor. The venue was packed and the show was funny. However, we had to leave before the end because we had booked a bootcamp class with the balancer. Luckily, we also booked a roller stretching session in the gym, which was more intense than we thought. We had also booked a relaxing meditation session. Dinner had us super excited as we had reservations at the Test Kitchen. This restaurant has 2 sets of 5-course tasting menus. One is vegan. Our first courses were gazpacho and mushroom pate, which is made to look like a whole mushroom. Next, we had egg yolk and caviar. The vegan version had olive oil pearls resembling caviar. Next, the scallops with ham, and the asparagus with hazelnuts, followed by venison tenderloin and a vegetable tart. Desserts were chocolate and coconut strawberry cakes. We loved almost everything about this unique and creative dining experience, which was the perfect way to end our time on board the Scarlet Lady.
Back on dry land, thank you so much for coming along on this cruise adventure. Join us on this video next where we cruise Europe's biggest megaship. Until the next Sailaway.